This video has been delayed to post WGP Tokyo just so I get a chance to say, for all of you who wanted defensive mechanic, I hope you're happy. Hey, what's going on, guys? RSS4 here. Today I am back to cover Lyrical Set 4. Yes, today we are starting Lyrical Set 4 alongside one of the most interesting decks in Lyrical Set 4, which is Siana. Now, most people say Siana is their favorite deck either because she's very hot, she's very cute, she has a very good defensive mechanic. But I like Siana because she's just Majesty or Blaster. But no one will listen to me. Everyone's too busy saying they need a defensive mechanic. So today we're going to be covering the Siana deck. It's mostly out of the box from DLBT04. You only need a few tags here and there for your Blitz orders, some searching. I will be introducing some spice. I also will be showing you a reprinted card that is finally affordable, or at least it's a lot better. Which is Eureka. Eureka is not a must play in this deck. Some people swear by it. I feel that they're idiots, but you can choose not to play it if you want to. It's not concerned. But at least I get it all out of the way. We can talk about the right deck. We are playing every Siana. So the reason why I have to start the right deck off that way is because, first of all, I'm not a Siana sim. I'm not really, like in love with her. That's Feltiosa. But I do need to say everything Siana because the grade 0 is make sure warm-up exercise is done Siana, but I do not do exercise. The grade 1 is relying on snakes when lost Siana. The grade 2 and the grade 3 is prepared to deal with the heat Siana, and this is like and the grade 3 is obviously Gorgon Eyes Siana. The reason why I'm kind of jumping it is because they all share the same defensive skill. And that is skill 2. The glare is stopping me. The skill 2 here, and for her that's skill 3. Okay, and that skill is the defensive skill that Twitter loves. So all of you there, I hope you're taking down notes. And that skill is, at the end of the battle that this unit was attacked by a rear guard, if no cards were put on Guardian Circle during that battle, your opponent may choose a card from your hand and discard it. If not, the unit is bound face up. So the whole point is that basically you use your Snake Eyes and you turn them into stone, either give them a boner or you force them to discard a trigger. Okay, it doesn't have to be a trigger, but to be fair, D is so aggressive, right guys, that, I mean, your hand is only left with triggers, right guys, according to some people online. So the idea is that you basically curb storm a lot of early aggression with this right deck, and that's really good. The grade 1 skill is that when rolled upon by grade 2 with Siana, you Soul Blast 1, you return all of your opponent's front row rearguards to the hand, and you draw a card. So it's nice that you still get a +1 despite you balancing the defense mechanic, which is very sweet. And the grade 2 Siana, which is her eating ice cream, so precious. You basically get the skill that when this unit is broke by grade 3 with Siana, you will get to choose a trigger or blitz order from your drop and add it back to your hand. So yeah, it's basically defensive recycling, and you get the ability to draw, you get the defensive ability, and of course grade 3 Siana retains that same skill. So overall, this defensive skill is what really helps you stop early aggression, and it's just really nice. Well, I won't say stop, because realistically, your opponent can still play early aggression like my go. You just make it harder for them to play. This right deck is very influential. If you are playing at DLBT04, I recommend you to pick up a copy of this right deck before it gets too expensive, because this right deck is relatively generic. Because even if you don't play the grade 3 Siana, you still get the defensive mechanic for 2 turns, which means goodbye to a lot of weak early aggressive decks. Stoichia is not harmful. Okay, don't think this kills Stoichia. But everything else under the sun dies. So that's basically it. The grade 3 Siana is Gorgon Eyes Siana, and if your opponent has 2 or less cards in their front row and in the Guardian Circle, this unit gets crit +1 and drive +1. Majesty, Lord of Blaster, but you have to force your opponent to drop 3 cards. Then it's actually effective, which is very effective because the fact that they're going -3 to stop a 13k attacker. You're the idiot here. But the other thing is that it did state front row. This deck also has a bit of a Narukami slant to it where we target the front row rears. So, Detonix Joe Dragon, may your soul rest in peace. Amen. The second skill is that when this unit is attacked, it's once, okay? You choose a trigger card from your hand and move it into your soul, and this unit gains 15,000 power. Now, why does this matter? It's very simple. One is that you still don't really call anything, because you move the trigger to soul, right? 2, this also counts for your blitz orders. Yes, this is a defensive deck. Congratulations, Twitter.com. Which means you can actually play your defensive cards, and you will still trigger Siana's skill that you didn't call a Guardian. Siana's paralyzing of rearguard skill only works when you don't call a Guardian. So that is another reason you should take note on how the defense works. And to top it all off, 15k shield basically turns everything into 15k shield. This deck is budget because you can actually play non-effect draws, and it will turn them into 15k shield. So it's very nice altogether. It's a very well working package. In WGP Tokyo, we see Siana players going up to 8 draw, but I believe you don't need to play that much draw. Why? Because as I mentioned before, this is basically Majesty Lord Blaster. If you are playing multiple draw in Majesty Lord Blaster, you are basically playing Deck Out City. I know you wanted a slower deck in D, but you still need to win, okay? Moving on to our grade 3s. Our grade 3s, we play grade 3 Siana from the right deck, and then we play 3 more Siana, and then we play 1 Orb. I just want to say, if I could afford the LSR, I would buy the LSR because it's a very beautiful art. But you all have to stick with my broke ass because I built this for under 6,000 yen, because Siana herself is only 600 yen. The rest of the deck's right cheap. Eureka only cost me about 3,000 yen. So realistically, if we build the whole build, it's only less than about a few thousand yen. I think it's about... Okay, it's less than 50,000 yen, so it's definitely affordable. Okay, so it's not Juju. So we're playing the ball. This is Evergreen Transfer. It's a Blitz order. It's a Regalis piece as well from Festival Collection. Looks like every card from Festival Collection is going to be expensive, guys. God bless you. The skill is that you Soul Blast 1 when you play it. Your choose one units against 25k power, and your Vanguard gets a passive effect that if a unit is attacking you with 100 million, it gets -1 crit. This means if anyone bears the Overtrigger's power, it basically becomes 0 crit. But if it's Elder Breath, then it is a different interaction that we will have to get into a different ruling video. But the only OT that directly breaks this down is Eidos Farah, because Eidos Farah gives you an extra crit, as well as for I believe the Stoichia OT, Bless Favor. So those are the only 2 OTs that really stop transfer, but everything else loses to it. Velnot, Olbaria, everything's fair game. You shut off every overtrigger. Because Twitter loves hating on the overtrigger, we must play the overtrigger hating card. And to be fair, it's optimal here. Siana at 4 for Persona, of course, you know. It's Majesty Lord Blaster. Moving on to our grade 2s. Our grade 2s, we play a lot of cards. Like, I physically need to go and pull them out. Hold on, give me a second. There's a lot of them, trust me. We play a lot of Blitz, so we play 2 of this. We play 2 of this. We play 4 copies of Juno. No, not Junos. And then we play 4 copies of Tetarus. And then 1 copy of Siana for the right deck. So we went through Siana, so that's pretty much about it. Let's move on with the rest of the deck. This is Tetarus. Tetarus makes Dragonic Death Scythe grow an inverse boner, and then he chops his dick off and dies. Why? Because when this unit is placed on a rearguard circle, Card Blast. No, when this unit is placed on a rearguard circle, choose 1 of your opponent's 5 rearguards and return it to the hand. It's a May, so you know you cannot if you don't want to. But when this unit attacks with a Vanguard with Siana in his card name Counter Blast 1, this unit gains 5,000 power for each of your opponent's open front row rearguard circles. And if you gain 10k or more, you draw. So if you know what Great Composure Dragon is, it's a skill that only professionals like to use. You basically get a pocket Great Composure Dragon / Gauntlet Buster Dragon / I don't know, every other Narukami card in existence with a card draw. Dragonic Death Scythe is 100 times worse than this card. 100. So I kind of wish I could take her and put her in Vermilion and take Death Scythe and leave Death Scythe here. That's how good this card is in my opinion. Yeah, that's really that's it. Tetarus is your second triple rare. This one's a little bit more pricey, but to be fair, you're paying for power, man. If I would pay any amounts of money to get Death Scythe out of my life, please kill him. In terms of Siana support, we still have another guy. Sorry, girl. That's Juno. No, this is not Junos. Act once per turn if you have a grade 3 with Siana in his card name that's grade 3 or greater. Soul Blast 1. Choose one of your opponent's front row rear guards and return it to the hand. If you Soul Blast a trigger, which you will, because you know, you're putting triggers into Soul, you get an additional effect where this unit and your Vanguard gain 10. So you just got straight up 20k power by paying 1 Soul Blast and you bounce back. So you achieve Her Majesty Lord Blaster condition and you get a net 20k power. I don't care that Siana has a 3 attack deck right now. I know Kidani is printing us a PR that gives us a 4th attack. And even if it doesn't, this deck's already busted. Like, you can't look at Unica, you can't look at MLB and say, yeah, they are still fine. No, Siana shits on them completely. So you read cards like this and you go, wow. Where is Jojo Ignis? Where is Jojo Ignis? But enough negativity, let's stop striding because Luad is coming. We must prepare for Luad. This is Unseeable Exterior. It's the clone of all your anti-strike or your anti-strike blitz, and that is that if your opponent's Vanguard is placed this turn by card effect, no, sorry, if you have 3 or more rear guards, this unit, your choose one unit is against 15. If your opponent's Vanguard is placed by card effect this turn, it gets 30k instead of 15k. So you need to achieve 2 conditions, and that is that 1, you need 3 or more units, and then after that, you can go up to 30k instead of 15k if your opponent's Vanguard plays this turn. This counts for Rebel Form, this counts for Griffle Gila if you're concerned about that. This counts for Strikes, of course, as I mentioned. This counts for Lestial, this counts for Mask if they superior persona right by their effect. And this mainly just shuts off most decks. If you play a Great 4 superior right deck, this also shuts it down. So yeah, that basically covers everything. If you're concerned about Blonde Hazel, you can play this. And last but not least is Vibrant Symphony. Vibrant Symphony is as long as you've taken a damage this turn, your Vanguard, choose one units against 30k. So it's a 30k shield. Wonderful. I should probably mention before we carry on that every Blitz order is once per turn. If you play one Blitz order, you are unable to play a second Blitz order in the exact same turn. So if any one of you needs to link or needs to stop a cheater on CFA or in your local tournaments, you can clip me saying this again. Blitz orders are only once per turn. If you play one Blitz order in the turn, you cannot play a second one. Take note. Thank you. Moving on to our Great Ones. Our Great Ones, we play one copy of Siana in the right deck. And then we play one copy of Transfer, because we paid money for it. 3 Perfect Guards. Elementaria Sanctitude. And then we play 4 copies of Eureka. And then we play 4 copies of this girl. This is Lupoa. And then we play 2 copies of Aura. All of this is all spicy shit. So we're going to break this down very slowly. I think our Perfect Guards are as clear as day. I'm still using the new Perfect Guards, and you will see them in future lyrical videos to come, just because they're really cheap, and it's just in effect PG. Yeah, it's very cheap, so just pick it up. Elementaria Sanctitude, it's a Blitz order, so keep in mind, this is your anti-strike, this is your anti-triple drive Blitz. So it's basically a Perfect Guard, but the thing is that if your opponent's attacking Vanguard has triple drive, it is a free Perfect Guard, in the same way that your normal Perfect Guards are free when you have 2 or less cards in hand. Less than 2 cards in hand. So the general concept with Elementaria is that it stops all strike, it stops all Great Force, and it stops anyone that gives you triple drive. A la Jiva. But yeah, Sanctitude is removed from game, so you can't bounce it back. And Transfer as well. Transfer also is a Regalis piece, so it is once per game, so don't think you can recycle it. Yeah, I should mention it. Thank you. That was the ghost. That was my snake hair talking to me. Then we have Siana, which we covered before already. We have this copy of Lupoa. When this unit is placed on the rearguard circle, choose one of your opponent's front row rearguards and return it to their hand. So now it's not just Narukami. Now it's Nupatama. Oh my god. That's why I love this deck so much. When your Great 3 or greater Vanguard with Siana is being attacked, or is attacked, move this unit to the soul, choose one of your Vanguards against them. Do you understand? Until the end of the battle. Do you understand how many children I would kill to have this in every deck? That is so good. It is literally moving to soul plus 10 on any battle involving the Vanguard. So if your Siana is attacking for 13, it now goes up to 23. So it's basically like Rafluk. And if it's being attacked, you slide to the soul, it gains 10. So it's basically just a free intercept, but you get to keep Siana's main defensive skill of paralyzing the rearguard. It's insane. I don't get it. This deck is so forced. And yeah, I mean, I'm so envious. I want this in every deck. I want this in my Majesty Lord. I want this in... Oh, you're telling me I have a better generic here? Eureka. Do I need to explain what Eureka does? No. I'm not going to explain it. You guys know it. 2 copies of Aura. Aura is basically when this unit boosts an attack that hits, retire this unit, search your deck for Blitz order and add it to the hand. This counts for any Blitz order. So, your Transfer, your Sanctitude also can be searched. Yeah, so that's basically what this girl's here for. She's really good, but she is 6,000 power only. And because Siana is a relatively low power deck, like I said, this is like Majesty or Blaster, I'm only playing her at 2. You can ideally play her at 3. I feel that's no issue. But I would say 4 is a bit too much. Moving on to the Great Zeros. Our Great Zeros, we play 1 copy of Siana. and then after that we play one Lyrical Overtrigger. I know a lot of people are screaming right now, why aren't you playing a better Overtrigger? The Lyrical Overtrigger is perfect for this because you do have mostly moving front row rear guards, because Eureka bounces your booster unit to hand. In case you didn't know, that's what it does. And the idea is that you basically want to play a longer stall and grind game. Getting force 1 for every rear guard, I mean, do you need an explanation? There's no other OT that does it better. If you want to play Valnot, it only gives you 1 additional attack, which is not really good considering you don't really have much good beaters in this deck. You don't want to play Eidos Farah because your +1 crit is virtually useless. And you only get 1 card back from the draw, which, even if you recycle a trigger or a transfer, I mean, like, it's not going to help you. 4 normal heals, we play a total of 6 crits. Despite me saying this is like Majesty Lord Blaster, we are actually playing a total of 5 draws. And we are playing 5 normal draws because Siana can simply download them for additional power. And it's cheaper that way. I mean, why not, right? You want to play effect draws, I mean, it's perfectly fine. We are still going to be playing regular heals. We can play effect heals, but we are playing normal heals because the heal is very cute, 1. 2, and more importantly, this helps us for early aggression. The rest is all crits because we generally still need to play Vanguard, and because it's Majesty Lord Blaster, you still want to pull as many crits as possible with your triple drive. And that wraps up my Siana deck profile. And yeah, I'm gonna have to end it here on a very good note. I know I've been roasting a lot of people in this video, but to be honest, I'm really glad this deck exists for Vanguard. I don't know if this is going to be meta warping, I certainly don't think so, but Siana is touching a very interesting design area that I frankly have never seen, and anyone who says D-decks are not interesting, this is your new key example. Siana is a deck that has defensive counterplay, good grind game, solid numbers, removal somewhat, and most importantly, a very cute girl to boot. If you are looking for a lyrical deck to scare people with this Halloween, or more rather or not, you want to get rock hard, then I fully recommend Siana. If you can afford the LSR, I hope you can buy the LSR and send me a picture of it. I'd love to see your LSR. Thank you all so much for watching. We will be covering more lyrical decks from this set. Felty Rosa is probably going to be one of them, as you can guess, but I will be covering the rest. Especially thanks to WGP Tokyo, we have more results now. We can sort of test and cross-check our lists, as well as other decks I find interesting from LMO4. Lyrical has a whopping, I think, 30 plus decks at this point, so very frankly, don't expect me to cover everything. But if there's a deck you'd like me to cover, leave it in the comments. I may cover it if I can, sell more of my stupid Eugene decks and earn enough money to build. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.